Right, so this is dried. It's not a bad joint. I could have run my router up it, that would have given it a nice sharp edge, but as the man says, it's not going to get seen, so I'm just going to flip it over and cut it. You should be able to get a clean cut on one edge where the saw goes in. I don't really care if it breaks out at the back because this is wider than I need. It's probably going to get cut down. Not bad. Nice clean cut there. I've got to cut the end off that one, so that's good. Time for a new blade maybe. That's alright. So that's going in like that. So that's about 75mm. So I'll mark that. So I'll mark that around there. 75mm in. Cut it. And I can think about this joint. I just need to take that off. So cut that around there. I'll just put 2 pencil lines on with the square. So I've got one on the face there, and one around there. I'll cut this one. Then I might be able to get it in, but I'll sit this one back on top and draw a pencil line underneath. Flip this over and do that one. Actually, that'll want to go underneath because I'll want to be cutting on top. I'll show you. Shiny, shiny. It's always worth buying a new cutter. They're 10 quid, but when you're talking hundreds of pounds worth of worktop, it's nice and sharp, is that? I'm going to cut out for the bolts. We're just putting 2 in because we're just using what came off the old units. But I need to be able to get in from underneath, so I'm going to put one about here and put one right at the back, take the jaw out. So I want to measure in there, measure in there. I'd prefer one closer to the front, but you know, to this point here, so this one's going to be back here somewhere, I think it'll be alright. So that's pretty much what they're going to be. So on your jig you've got pins, go in different places, female cut, male cut, I'll show you the male later, but that's what I just did, a female on there. Right, so the idea was put that piece underneath and then all I'd have to do is draw a line, but we've got pipes in the way and because they've notched out that I can't lift this up, so I'm just going to measure across there, mark it on there, cut it. I've got some pencil marks under here that I measured off the cupboard, but I couldn't remember that distance when you sit your router on, how far the cutter is in. So I've just done a little test cut. I can measure from there to there now. So you see that's the distance, that's where the edge of the jig was. So I'll measure that. And then under here, I've got some pencil marks, look. I'll measure back off them, that distance. Same up there. So that's where my jig was, like that. I just measured off there, it's about 8mm. So I measured that in. These are my pencil marks. I measured across. So I'm up to my lines there, look. And I've taken this pin out of there. As you can see, it was just touching, it was pivoting on that point, which pulls this mitre out. I wanted it to pivot on this one. Closest to the mitre. And there, just there, I've got my original pencil line that I made with the square, and it looks about right. It's off a little bit. I can always take a fraction more off. We'll see. Prefer it to be too long than too short. See, I'm just short my mark there, and I know that that mark under there wants to go that way, so I'm just going to give this a tap that way. Not bad there, not bad there. Slightly out. I'm slightly out there. Could just mean my pencils need sharpening. It's not bad. Once I get it clamped up, be fine. Bit of that acrylic wherever it is. This stuff. Put some of this on the joint, but that's not a bad cut. It'll clamp up. Right, I'll cut the slots for the bolts. I just need to put some biscuits in here to level the top up. I normally like to get one in here, but I haven't got my little router with me with the cutter, so I'll just have to see how close I can get with my biscuit joint in there. Bit of colour difference between the two, but joints up. It's not bad. This one's a dog, but yeah. That's quite good. Dodgy cut here. My cut's not bad. I'm out very slightly there. But that's what silicone's for. It's going to get a splashback all the way down. So, cut the sink, cut the hob. Right, so that's it for now. These just got cut out with the plunge saw. Didn't film that. But it was just cut them round. That's turned out alright. Silicone. Doors got to go on. Strips on the end of here. There's going to be like a shelf unity thing that goes under there. They ain't got that yet. And maybe an end panel, but they ain't got that either yet. So, right, come back to it Monday. I'm just going to stick this on, clean the edge up with router, then I've just sanded any snotty bits off, any bits of wood that stick out. I'm going to use normal contact adhesive, could use spray glue or something I guess. And this, I've broken a little bit off there, but this I made by putting up against a piece of wood like that and just cutting it with a hacksaw. This will soak in, so I'll probably end up putting 2 coats on. I'll put a thin coat on, let that soak in, let it dry a little bit, and then maybe put another coat on. I've only got these 2 to do.
We went out there and, was it over 40 once? David out there. 44 was it? 44 degrees in Australia.
Yeah.
And the humidity.
100% humidity.
100%. So you can't sleep at night. Oh.
No, it's not right, is it?
We went in March once, the first time we went, and that was quite pleasant, wasn't it? But then they live in Queensland, and so you get the tropical storms and things as well.
Yeah.
So it's like air damages can't like balls, so it's not really good on the roof is moving. So that's all yeah. Yeah. So just like see everything goes through there. Once it goes work on Manchester. In our that was about it, so it's all changed in fortnight.
I'm trying to do it. By the time, like, you don't have to fight like that. The wind was 35, the ground was 35, everything was 35. That was fully held in Croatia. It was just too much.
I'm told that it's water. Then I was thinking before. Yeah, so, again.
Right, so completely dry. Right, I've got my little router, but I've got a file. The file's got one smooth edge, one side with teeth on. That side you can use almost like a saw. You don't want to go that way onto it because you're breaking off. You want to be filing onto it like that. Ends are a bit difficult. I hate not having half my tools. can get your fingers and nails under it. Boss used to go around doing that with his fingernails. There's a little bit there, look. I'll go around, file it all off. Fucked it up a bit there. Right, of course the last one's the best. It's only a print, I think they call this. It's only got like a paint on the surface, so it's so easy to take a little bit too much off. That's not bad. Just caught it on the corners there. It'll do. Well, happy people, hopefully.
Yeah, definitely. Very happy people.
Yeah.
G'day plumbing, but no leaks so far. Hodgepodge of bits and pieces.
Doesn't sit in there.
That'll do.
So next time you come, the floors will be done.
Yeah, and all doors will be on.
Doors will be on.
So do you want a photo to send you when the doors are on?
When are you going to do that?
Well, this week.